Hey folks, Alec Peirce at the ranch, back again with an idea that might help you a little bit. Since I have faced many of these problems over the past 25 or 30 years, I've made a lot of mistakes. That's why I thought I'd share some of these ideas with you, because these ideas are the result of all my mistakes. We have a problem. If you look back in my videos I've done recently, you'll see that one of the videos, you'll recognize this, I was talking to you about cleaning your own chimney. Quick, easy, cheap, effective. And one of the reasons why I suggest strongly that you clean your own chimney is that in order to do that, you have to get up on your own roof. Yeah, and that can be very enlightening sometimes. You might spot something up here. I don't think you're going to find anything valuable, but you might spot a problem, a leak or a bent something or whatever kind of problem you see, and you can get that solved before it becomes a real big problem. In other words, you get a chance to check out your roof. And that's a good idea. A roof is kind of important to houses, certainly in a climate like ours up here in Ontario. So when we did that video, when Kevin and I did that video for you about cleaning your own chimney, I was up here looking at my chimney, and I discovered a problem. Now, let me just quickly brief you on my chimney. This is a stainless steel insulated chimney. Comes up through the roof, comes up to about, maybe about this height, right to there. And works very, very well. We talked about that in that video. But it looks terrible. I didn't like the look of that shiny stainless steel thing sticking out of the roof of my Montana-style ranch bungalow. It just looked goofy. So I wanted to cover it up. Now, lots of ways to do that. The first thing we did was build a box. We simply built a box out of pressure-treated 2x4s and plywood, and made a nice square box around the stainless steel chimney. So it disappeared. That was good. But the plywood didn't look a lot better than the stainless steel. So then I got some of these stones here. These are cultured stones. They're not real stones. Okay, you can't tell. Well, maybe you can, but they're cultured stones. A lot easier to work with. Okay, they have a flat side, so it's easy to stick them on, and they have corners. You see, this is actually your corner piece. There's actually corner pieces as well. Anyway, that's easy. All you do is you put mesh onto the plywood firmly, and then you use a mastic, a glue if you like, that goes onto the mesh holds the glue. Then you put the stones in place, sort them out so they look, and I put the stones in place, hold them in place firmly, and they're permanent. They're on there for sure. And then when you finish, you put some grout on and you walk away. You have a beautiful chimney. Except there's no cap. This doesn't, you can't buy this because each one of these is individual. So we decided to make a cement cap for the top of the stone. And to do that, it was very simple as well. We simply made another box out of wood. We made another box out of wood, made it the depth and the shape and everything else that we wanted, and we mixed up some cement, and we poured the cement in and let it harden, knocked off the box, and dab-a-doo. There you go. Put a cap on the chimney, and it looks great. We've been very, very happy with it. It looks really, really good. So anyway, I was up here the other day doing the video showing you how to clean your own chimney. And as I walked up the chimney, I said, what the heck is that? And can you see that, Kevin? Can you see? My cap that I made has got a crack in it. A crack that goes right up the side, right through, right out the other side. Well, you can't have that. You can't leave that crack there. First of all, it looks terrible, but even more serious, that crack it goes right down. I can see it goes down probably the length of the full depth of the cap that I made, and up in this climate anyway, it'll fill with water. You know, when it rains or in the wintertime it starts to snow, the snow melts. That's going to fill with water. That's going to freeze. So right now I have about that crack is maybe a 1/16 of an inch. But if I don't repair that crack and get it plugged up, well, the next time I come up, it'll be a 1/2 inch crack. And then another 2 years, this will fall off because, of course, it fills with water, freezes, and you know what happens. So it has to be repaired. I had to repair that. And I'm not going to replace the whole darn cap, not if I can avoid it anyway. So I have repaired cracks in cement before, and I think this will work beautifully. In fact, it'll work. This product I have here will work really, really well for this type of crack. This crack is a little bit more extreme because it has a lot of wind, a lot of sun, a lot of cold, and it also has the heat from the fireplace. So this actually gets warm, then it gets cold, and it gets warm, and it gets cold. And you know what that means. Bigger, smaller, is expanding and contracting, and this crack has got to be repaired properly. So here I am. Let's see how we're going to repair this crack. Very simple. Here's all the tools you need. You need a wrench and a little wire brush and maybe a screwdriver and a little putty knife, and you need a product for repairing the crack. Now you could, technically, I could have mixed up some more cement, but it's a small crack. And I get the cement down into the crack, and then to do that, you have to make the cement very runny. It would go down through, but then it wouldn't stay, and I just didn't like the idea. So I researched, and this is a while ago that I did this. I researched and I found a product that I think is going to be perfect for this job. I've used it before. It works really, really well. And I don't know if you folks have this particular product in your neighborhood. I got this product from my neighborhood hardware store. It's called Home Depot, which is everywhere. But I'm sure wherever you are in the world, they have products like this. This product is called Quikrete. What most important about this is it is a concrete patching compound. It's silicone based. That's right. It's like a putty, a gritty putty. But being silicone based is kind of interesting. It's easy to force into the crack. Being silicone based, it'll stick to both sides. And it sticks really, really well. Okay, you can form it, until it hardens up. And even when it hardens up, it doesn't harden up. It stays slightly flexible. Now you understand why that's important? I just explained about this cap. It expands, contracts, and so on. If I had normal cement in there, it would, after a while, it would crack some more. But this silicone-based stuff, I'm pretty sure I'm right, this is going to be excellent because it expands and contracts, and this being flexible, it won't break anymore. So we're going to give it a try. Let's see what we have to do here. I'm going to have to stand up here, Kev, just for a minute, partly because my knee is killing me. I'm not a kid anymore, Kevin. Anyway, most chimneys, you have a cap on the top. We talked about that in the previous video. That comes off to clean it. But also down around the bottom, there's a storm shield. I don't know what this proper term is. I call it a storm shield. This ring, tapered ring, goes on the chimney, and it tapers out. So any snow or rain that blows in there, hits that, and then rolls off the chimney. It doesn't go down because there is a space between the chimney, right, and the wooden box that we built. So we don't want to run down this. Yeah, there's a storm shield. So just take your wrench, whatever size it is, and take that off. That's easy to do. I've loosened this already, so I can just take off the nut and the lock washer and the bolt, and now this storm shield. This comes off like that. Take a quick look at it. Yep, sure. That's good. Get all the moss and the spiders off the back of it, but it's in real good shape. We'll put that down there for later to put back in place. And now what you can see in here is, in fact, the actual chimney. I don't know if you can scrunch down there. Is that a word? Scrunch? It is now. If you can scrunch down there, Kevin, and can you see in here? Can you see this shiny stain? That's the chimney. That's the stainless steel chimney. It's all stainless steel chimney. This part down here is just, you see how it's, if I use a wire brush on that, the stainless steel will start to show through. It's all stainless steel, right to the cement. It's just that there's a little bottom part here that's got a little bit corroded or got a coating on it. So I'm going to clean this off. That's what wire brush is for. You have to be sure that the crack is clean before you use this product. So I'm going to clean this off a little bit. I'm going to just quickly show you how this works. I'll come back later and do a little better job. So clean that off, and then of course while you're doing that, you need to make sure the crack is clean. So anything that's loose in there, clean that out of there. Make sure there's nothing big in the crack. And then as you go along, one thing I would have liked to have had up here, it's a little bit hard, unless I run a hose or bring up an air pig. You know what an air pig is? No? You probably think you're a scuba diver, aren't you, Kevin? You're probably thinking that an air pig is someone who uses a lot of air. No. Clean off the crack like that, and right down the sides, the whole thing, you see, like so. An air pig is a tank about this big with a hose on it. You can fill it up from your airline hose, and then you can carry the air pig up here on the roof and blow it clean. And I just might do that a little later. Anyway, get this nice and clean, like so. And using the air from your air pig, clean out the crack. Okay, simple, very simple. Now, this great product, I've used this before, and it really is good. It's particularly good on small cracks. If you have a crack that's bigger than this, bigger than, oh, say, 1/4 of an inch, getting up to a 1/2 inch or bigger, then it still works, but you have to use multiple layers. You put some in, and then some of it. Now, watch here. you just got to get this, and we're not going to use too much of it. You're supposed to stir it up really well. Now, it is pretty homogeneous, so you don't need to stir it a whole great deal. Just stir up what you're going to use. And you can see now that it's like, now what it's like really, it feels like cement, but it has the base, the liquid base is a silicone based product. So you get a little bit like that, and then literally just work it into the crack, like so. And that again is where the screwdriver would become really handy. Nobody really sees this, so if you get a little extra of this outside the crack on the surface, and it won't matter. It'll look different than the rest of the chimney. So use your screwdriver to force it down in. When this is done, I want this crack to disappear. I don't want to see it, and I don't want it to be a problem. So make sure with the screwdriver or whatever else tool you have that you actually get this Quikrete right down inside the crack like that. I'm going to get you to take a close-up of this in just a minute, Kevin. A little bit more. And I actually want to raise it a bit. See what I'm doing? I'm going to raise it a bit like that. So it starts on the cement, up over the crack, and down onto the cement, so that we don't have any holes there. I don't want any place for water to gather, right? You see? So I'm forcing it right down hard into the crack, and that's working really, really well. And then after I've got that, it's pretty smooth, and a little bit more, and then I'm going to sculpt it like so. So it actually, a little hill of this Quikrete over top of the crack. I'm more of a mechanic than an artist, but I think I've done a pretty good job here. After you get all done, if the surface is rough and you don't like the look of it, well, you can sand it, or you can take the steel brush to it again. So now I think you can see, Kevin, if you come in close here now, you can actually see that right here where I've been working, there is no crack. And it's a little bit higher than the surrounding area, just like that. Now, I'm going to have to, I don't just show you the whole thing, you'll get bored, but I'm going to have to spend some time up here. It might take me half an hour, right down in there, the full crack, and along the side. Because this stuff is sticky, it actually goes right down into the crack here, and actually it's a bit cracked underneath, but it doesn't matter. I can force it in all the way around. So all around this whole side, and then start all around the other side, all the way around. I'll completely force Quikrete into the crack, force it down in, squeeze it down in with the trowel, smooth it, make it look beautiful. And let it sit. Well, it hardens pretty quickly, a couple of hours, but I'll wait for a couple of days, let the sun work on it, make it look gorgeous. I'll come back up with my wire brush, clean up the whole thing, and it'll be perfect. So, there you go. Quikrete. How to fix your chimney. Now, it doesn't matter where the cracks are in the cement. If they're relative, this isn't really good for, you can buy big tubs of it, but it's really, I don't know if it's the best for a big area. If it's a big area you're working with, then you might want to go back and start looking at a cement mix to do a bigger area. But for stuff like this, and again, this is critical. You have a crack up the center of your garage floor. Sometimes that's normal. It always happens. This has got to be repaired. You understand why now. This is absolutely perfect. Easy to do. I've shown you the tools, taking the color off, how to clean it. You can do this yourself. Quikrete, I think I paid $7 for it. There you go. Call somebody. Can you come and fix a crack in my chimney? Well, you'd be happy to. $150, maybe more. Danger pay, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there's an easy job that you can do yourself. Any kind of cement. It looks good. And you can say to your family and friends, yep, I fixed the chimney, no problem. Makes you feel good too. Anyway, maybe there was something in there that was of some interest and of some use to you. Talk to you again real soon. Alec, Peirce at the ranch.